welcome back. That's how quickly we can change aircraft and position. I'm just saving the current state of the aircraft. So here we are. Here we are in the FlighFactor 777-200ER with, yeah, that's the latest stable version, really. So, Matthias, moin. Fischkopf says the guy with the nice Austrian landing in Klagenfurt has a pilot license IRL, studied physics IRL. Banned for cheating. well done, I can say to him. GG's. Airbus, hello to you. Lovely to see you. Okay, so the thing is this: the latest update brought some interesting stuff. So, for example, we now have airplane training and then scenarios page. There's some great stuff here, guys. The unusual attitude will blow your mind. This is so cool because that's what we do IRL as well in the simulator. The windshield doesn't work that well yet, unfortunately. So, but the Intercept, TCAS, and unusual attitude is definitely something I want to showcase. Should be a lot of fun. Frankfurt has 303 movements on that sim now. Yeah. No, we can't go there. I'll get banned if I do that. Good. So, let's do some checklists, shall we? So, interesting. Even though the auto brake is RTO, it doesn't sense it, which is kind of weird. So, oh, there we go. Now it senses it. So, flight controls. Just checking that it's working. Checked. That's all clear. Before takeoff checklist completed. So lineup done, and the rest is the after takeoff checklist. All right, that means we can go. Oh, vector ROM. Okay, that's true. Well, there we go. Takeoff. Yeah. Love it. Thrust set. Not checked. V1, rotate. Great. Here we go. Tower view. Beautiful. Yeah, and the flight model here, so the fly-by-wire simulation, also absolutely fantastic. They've done a fantastic job on that. So the next thing, oh yeah, in the changelog, I've looked, they have not included the new weather radar system. However, they did announce that they will work on that for the next update, so that's exciting. Alright, let's go accelerate flaps 1. Flaps 1. I think we climbed 7s over here, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go 7s. Yeah, I think, I'm not sure. There's different simulations. So if you look at the Zebo, you have, I think, 2 or 3 different ways to simulate the effects. So yeah. This is, I think, this is pretty much a standard effect from flaps up, flaps up. Do that, and then we've got 1,000 feet to go. Let's set standard, altimeter standard set, and the after takeoff checklist. Take check is complete. Good, so let's have a look. Yeah, let's have a sip of coffee first of all, obviously, and then let's look at the TCAS scenarios. Now I have to go into plugins, and I have to disable Xpilot. Otherwise it won't work. Right, disable. Okay, so let's do a random. Actually, let's do a climb RA first of all. 45. And let's say he's descending. All right, let's do that. So there we go. Now we got already our TCAS symbol. Now he's in descent. So the way we do the TCAS resolution advisory maneuver in the 777 and 787 is autopilot auto thrust off. That's a bit different compared to the Airbus variation. So
traffic.
TCAS, I have control. So normally you try to get established with visual contact. Here it is. Here he is. I can see him. I have control. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, hang on. Oh, no. Hang on. Disregard. No, we'll do that again. I know what I've done. I don't have that on TARA. My bad. Sorry. Let's disengage that. Let's do that again. Yeah, I was wondering why I'm not getting a resolution advisory. Of course, yeah. If you leave that on TA only, it doesn't work. Right. But that was simulated correct as well, right? So let's try that again. There you go. Here's the traffic. 5 miles.
Traffic.
TCAS, I have control. I don't see him. Could be in the clouds. Oh, here he is. Look. So if he keeps his position in the windshield. So here's the position on the windshield. See how that remains constant?
Descend.
Right.
Descend.
TCAS RA. So we get into the area outside that level off. Right, now we level off a little bit. But the main indication is the vertical speed indicator. That has to remain outside of the red area.
Clear of conflict.
And if we do that, then the aircraft, the intruder, will pass behind us safely. We're going to see him now. Autopilot, check the modes. Speed, down enough, out. There you go. Hey, as the FlighFactor currently cannot handle forecast winds and cruise winds. Yes. So, to my knowledge, the wind request is inop and you cannot enter wind data. Right. So, it doesn't work, no. I have to ask them when they plan to implement that, because I think that as well, that's important, right? Good. What else we do? Let's try opposite and reciprocal, and he's also level flight. Let's see how that looks. That must look scary. So here he's on TCAS. Oh, well, he's got his lights on. No, that's the contrails, okay. Ugh. I honestly, that gives me the creeps.
Traffic.
TCAS, I control. That gives me the creeps just in a sim. Ay. 2.5 miles.
Climb. Crossing climb.
TCAS RA.
Climb. Crossing climb. Level off.
No. Oh, okay. Oh, that's nasty. He's in the climb as well. How nasty is that? Lord, my initial thing was they must have programmed something wrong, right?
Clear of conflict.
That it goes back. No, he's climbing. How nasty is that? So for some reason, I've got to do that again. For some reason, autopilot speed, enough altitude. No, so normally if the two TCAS systems, they coordinate the maneuver, right? So if both have all the data necessary to coordinate one aircraft to climb, let's say, and the other aircraft to descend, that's what's going to be done. If the other aircraft, so if one of the aircraft only, let's say they have TA only, for whatever reason, then only the aircraft that has full data inputs will get a climb, descend, whatever, right? The other one will just maintain level flight. Or the descend, whatever it's doing, right? But this would be one of those instances, for example, where, you know, Überlingen in South Germany, many years ago, where one crew followed the TCAS resolution and the other aircraft did not. They actually followed the instruction from the air traffic controller. So, let's try 70 seconds. Right, let's try that again. Yeah, exactly, Fishkop. So if the other one just has TA, that aircraft will not get climb or descend instructions. They will just maintain their path. Right, you can see the aircraft here. Oh, I hate that. That is so nasty. Right, my muscle.
Traffic.
TCAS.
Traffic.
I have control. So I've got my hands on the auto throttle and autopilot disconnects.
Climb. Crossing climb.
TCAS RA.
Climb. Crossing climb. Off.
Oh, look, he's also climbing. Nasty. Level off, level off. Gotta be quick on that. Ay, 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 ay. Nasty. So we just stay outside the red area here.
Clear of conflict.
One of the things I find really difficult is that if you watch too much your flight director inputs or flight director guidance, the thing is, so that red symbol that you have to keep the aircraft outside of. The thing is, it's a bit misleading. I've had it several times where I was just below or just above the limitation, right? So I was outside of that trapeze, as we call it. However, vertical speed-wise, I was not outside that red area. So really, initially, this is just initial to give a guidance where to stay out of with the pitch. But the actual vertical speed that you have to fly, you have to look at your vertical speed indicator. That's really important. Let's try one more. Let's go 5 miles starboard. Let's say he's above. Let's try that. I hope it doesn't get too complicated now. Oh, he's still opposite. Oh, hang on. Disengage. Let's try this one from the right. Oh, actually, let's do 90 degrees. Let's do that. So 90 degrees. 5 miles. And again, I think I can see him there. Nope. Thought I saw him there. That's not him. Nope. And the thing is, if he stays, if the position on the windshield...
Traffic. Traffic.
TCAS eye control. I don't see him just yet. Oh, there he is. Look. You see how that bearing remains constant where my mouse pointer is? That's why. That's the
Descend.
right, TCAS RA. There we go. That's
Level off.
not sure if you normally, well, we're closer to the ground, so that's why level off comes fairly quickly. Look at that. Now that gives you an idea of how far the separation is. So if you have the, I think it's 30 seconds or 35 seconds with the closest point of approach. So you have time. And yeah, it shows again, it's so important that both aircraft follow their resolution advisories and not listen to ATC. And that's why over the pilot monitoring, so the person that does the radios, they just call in to ATC KLM 711 TCAS RA. And that means the ATC is instructed to just keep quiet. So all they should say is Roger. And not start discussion, anything like that. Right? Because at the moment, so the moment that we get a resolution advisory, ATC is out of the game. ATC has no more control over the aircraft that are in the resolution advisory, right? So they shut up. They don't give any instructions to these aircraft. Until they call back clear of conflict. And so once clear of conflict, then ATC is back in the game. Right, let's try another thing. So, guys, now we're going to do some upset training, okay? They call that unusual attitude. We call that upset training. Word of warning, guys. What happens is that when you activate it, the screen goes black, which is quite cool because when the screen pops back open, then you should react. So you have to look at your PFD and then determine the easiest or best way to get out of that unusual attitude, okay? There is obviously different methods, and we're not talking about stall recovery. Stall recovery is something different, right? Upset recovery can come from a stall, but the upset recovery is not the stall procedure, so don't get that confused, okay? So we're going to start out with a right bank of 80 degrees. We're going to be up 30 degrees. And we're going to be at high speed, okay? So when we do a recovery from high pitch, oh, well, let's do up 45 degrees. And if your wings level, hang on, can we do wings level? Let's try, yeah, we can do wings level, can't we? Look at this. So we can actually do wings level. So this is the thing, guys. So let's do that. Let's engage. Right, there we go. Okay, so upset. Right. So so 45 degree pitch up. The easiest way to get the nose down is actually roll. Roll and then unload the aircraft. Push. Once you're there at horizon, go back, wings level, and recover. The thing is, if you try, let me go back to 45 degrees. So if you try to recover a high pitch attitude, by just pushing, you're probably gonna get like 0G or something. From the maneuver itself, it's not as efficient. So again, the easiest thing to do, let me do a low speed here. So let's try that again. Don't try this at home. No, don't try this at home. Right, let's do that again. Right. Right, unusual attitude. Low speed.
Bank angle, bank angle.
Right, roll, push. And now we've got to wait a little bit because of a slow airspeed. You see that? How quickly we get with the stick shaker? Spoilers are back in. So now it's more like a stall recovery. Build up some airspeed and then slowly pull out of it. If you pull too hard, you get into that secondary stall. So let's try to get the aircraft level again. 14,000 autopilot. Okay, so now we come to the nasty things. So let's go right 135-degree bank and we'll do up 30. And what we do in the real simulator, what we do is so that the check captain who will say, or the training captain will say, I have control. Then you're going to have to close your eyes and then you feel the simulator do all kinds of weird things, right? But you've got your eyes closed and because he's doing so many turns, up, down, left, right, you don't really know exactly what's going on. So let's try that. So there we go. I have control. Oh my god! Upset recovery. Oh my god. Right. Let's get wings level. Careful with the recovery though. Don't try to pull too many G's. Like I said, you're going to get into the secondary stall, in the stall here. And we've got altitude to trade. So nice recovery here. Yeah, so Skylar, just think of the mass the aircraft has, right? So if you try to recover the aircraft by pushing, it just takes so long. I mean, you are not risking a stall really because you're unloading the wings by almost going, you know, almost 0 G or let's say half a G or something, right? But it takes ages. There was actually, I think, a British Airways real world upset where the co-pilot did exactly that. He actually did roll to about 60-70 degree bank, if I remember correctly, to help with the lowering of the nose. Right, now we do some nasty stuff, guys. Again, if you're a bit squirmish, if you are afraid of flying, maybe you shouldn't watch that now. Okay. So let's do low speed, and I'm going to go down 30 with a right 8-degree bank. This is going to look horrible, guys, okay? So careful.
Bank angle, bank angle.
Right, here we go. Upset recovery. Oh my god. Wings level.
Caution, terrain. Caution,
careful
terrain.
with the recovery. Got to pull now.
Terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
There we
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Woo. Yeah, like. But again, these things are fun. I love doing these in the level D simulator. Right, we're going to do a little bit more now. We're going to go down 45, and we'll do left 135. Again, this is really horrible.
Bank angle, bank angle.
Right.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain, terrain.
Let's recover.
Up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
High speed, speed brakes out.
Pull up.
Careful with the G load. You've got to be careful. Can't
pull
pull too
up.
much.
Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Did I put it? Did I say low airspeed? Or did I forget that? Hang on. No, I said low airspeed. Okay. Yeah, so the thing is this. So what? This is so difficult now. If you got a left 135-degree bank, if you look outside, you can get completely confused and you don't have much time. So that low nose attitude, you got to look at your attitude indicator and really look where the sky is. Right, and then just roll, make sure the sky, keep the blue side up, right? And then, so before we pull, we try to get the wings level. Right, we try to get that lift vector exactly to the up position. That's the most efficient way to get out of the descent. But yeah, that's fun. I like that. That's pretty cool as well. Cool stuff. Yeah, they are, Mickey. They are fun because you gotta try to recover from those. The stall training is somewhat I call it boring because literally, so right now I can trim the aircraft nose up until we get into that low speed band. So once the speed goes into that, I can't trim nose up anymore. So what I have to do now, I have to continuously pull back. Right? I can't trim anymore. It clicks, but it doesn't do the trim anymore. So manual thrust. Come on. Idle power. There you go. So you can see once we reach that, yeah, it's kicking with the airspeed low. So let me switch off the auto thrust completely. Otherwise, there's a protection system right now at work. So let me do that. Auto thrust is off. And now we can actually get into the stall. The most important thing when you get into a stall is unload the wings. I.e. push. I can really pull back now. And there we go. Stall. Unload. Slowly add thrust. Wait until the airspeed picks up more. If I pull back too hard, have a look. You see how that band, you see how the secondary stall comes on? Alright, so that's the stick shake activation here. That's a stall and it's dynamic. So the more G you pull, the quicker this will come up. And that's why it says stall. So the stall speed is not referred to an airspeed. It's more an angle of attack issue. So even if I'm flying fast, so if a jet fighter, for example, is doing 400 knots, a jet fighter can pull so much G and get the angle of attack so high that they can get into a stall.
Bank angle.
So we're fast enough, but if I really pull, look at that, 230 knots already stalled, right? Now I can't demonstrate it here, but you can stall the aircraft inverted. Right, so where does the auto thrust automatically engage? Somewhere in the yellow band. I don't think it's a fixed value. It's somewhere in the low speed band it activates. Yeah, exactly. You can stall any plane in any attitude or airspeed, but only one critical angle of attack based on aircraft and its weight. Yeah. Okay, let's do something else fun here. Something which I really thought was funny. All right, let's do flight level change. So let's pretend now that we are flying along and we switched to the wrong frequency, lost comm. Okay, so hang on, what was it again? Menu. airplane training scenario. So let's do intercept. Let's do 30 seconds. Hopefully it works because they've got some nice audio.
Traffic.
Right, TCAS, I have control. You can see now something's approaching us from behind. Quite fast as well. You can see him here. Now normally you would have 2 fighters approach you. So one fighter would stay... Oh, there he is. So one fighter would normally stay behind. And one will come to your side, fairly close, and try to get into visual contact with you in the flight deck. Oops. So I'm going to... So 1215 is already set on number 2 set. So at 15,000 feet. So let's see where the fighter comes up. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Ja, exactly. Führerschein und Fahrzeugpapiere, bitte. Lol. Right, so he's going to pull up to us. So imagine, I don't know, that would scare the hell out of me. Like, if you're flying along, and then suddenly this guy pulls up.
Aircraft, you have been intercepted. Establish communication.
Right.
Aircraft, you have been intercepted. Acknowledge.
Right, so what we do...
This is the intercepted aircraft.
Let's rock the wings.
Level and acknowledge. Boeing aircraft, this is the intercepting aircraft. Continue straight and level and acknowledge.
Yeah, you see, alright. So we acknowledge by rocking our wings.
Boeing aircraft, this is an F-16 fighter off your right side. You have been intercepted. Please acknowledge.
Right, let's see.
Boeing aircraft, this is an F-16 fighter off your right side. You have been
Yeah, this is KLM
Please
711 reading on guard frequency.
Boeing aircraft, this is an F-16 fighter off your right side. You have been intercepted. Please acknowledge.
I don't know how much bank I need to do. So at night time, I would flash my navigation lights.
Boeing aircraft, you have been intercepted. Acknowledge. Boeing aircraft, this is the intercepting aircraft. Continue straight and level and acknowledge. Boeing
Right.
aircraft, this is the intercepting aircraft. Continue straight and level and acknowledge.
Right, let's see.
Boeing aircraft, you have been intercepted. Establish communication.
Right. So this afternoon when I did it, yeah, so this afternoon, he actually then went left.
Boeing aircraft, this is an F-16 fighter off your right side. You have been intercepted. Please acknowledge. Boeing aircraft, you have been intercepted by the Air Force. We are on your port side. Acknowledge. Boeing aircraft, you have been intercepted by the Air Force. We are on your port side. Acknowledge.
So maybe a bit more.
Boeing aircraft, you have been intercepted. Establish communication. Boeing aircraft, you have been intercepted by the aircraft.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
You are on your port side.
there we go. Answer.
Sir, are you experiencing any difficulties with your flight?
Right. No.
Goodbye, sir. Thank you.
Oh, there we go. Oh, you have to get communications through here. Ah, there we go. Let me try that again. Let me try something with like, yeah, we're in trouble or something. Let me see what happens then. So let's go try it again.
Traffic. Traffic.
Yeah, TCAS, I have control. Let's go 15,000. Yeah, I totally forgot. It's through the communication menu here. That was easy to shake them off. Yeah, but that's what would happen, right, Ariel? If you got like, you know, the frequency wrong or something, they would pull up to you, and then he would say, "Uh-oh," and then he would remember, "Oh, I should dial in 1215," right? And then, yeah, they would get in contact with you and have a frequency for you to contact, right? So very rarely would then, you know, something else happen, or they would tell you to follow them or something, right? The thing is, if that aircraft does a slow left turn, or yeah, normally with the left turn, it would then signal to you, fly this way. So let's say you can't get in contact with him for whatever reason, then he would start signaling you to follow his lead. And then there's different things that they would do. For example, then they would circle over an airport and turn on their landing lights, or maybe even lower the landing gear, and that would tell you that you have to land at that airport. Oh, here he comes again. So he's looking at the aircraft.
Unable to find view ID 9.
Oh, it's interesting. So in Germany, if you are a VFA aircraft and you're getting close to restricted airspace, then a police chopper shows up with a sign that gives you the frequency. Ah, interesting. Didn't know that. Right, now I don't know where he is. Man, this looks nice. I like how the clouds look. Oh. Something just changed. I'll take that back. Right, where are you? He's gone. Oh, he's not. Hang on. Where? Oh, he's up here. So that normally would tell us to turn left. Now I'm not going to follow that. Let's see what happens now. He's gone. Alright, let's attempt to break off and re-engage. Sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Re-engage. Hey. Sounds dangerous. Here he is. He's coming around again. Oh, he's fast. He's behind us. Target locked here. Fox 3. Oh no. Where is he now? Right, let's attempt to disengage. Let's do that again. Let's do engage. Okay.
Traffic. Traffic.
Yeah, TCAS, eye control. So during the European football games. Okay. Yeah, some people are silly, like hey MDF. Oh no, hang on, that's a good idea. Try that as well. So engine separation failure. Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's try that after the intercept. Here he comes. Love how he slowly approaches. There he is. Hello, hello. Driver's license and insurance policy, please. Oh, that's funny. Is here too close to missile switching to guns, exactly. No, you can't. No, you can't combine all of them.
Boeing aircraft, you have been intercepted by the airport. We are on your port side. Acknowledge.
Right.
Boeing aircraft.
Let's
This
see.
is an F-16 fighter off your right side. You have been intercepted. Please acknowledge. Boeing aircraft.
So
This is the
it's not showing up just yet.
intercepting aircraft. Continue straight and level and acknowledge.
Oh, there we go. Now we could. If I ignore. Now let's do answer first.
Sir, are you experiencing any difficulties with your flight?
Yes.
Understood, sir. Follow on my 4 o'clock.
Ah, okay. Well, I don't have afterburner. I can't fly that fast. My airplane's better than yours, yeah. Yeah, so I guess... Okay, so now he's turning left. So I would have to match that as well. So now I'm not sure if he would lead me to a airport or something. Hey Joronix, got a question regarding flying technique with the PNG 777 when departing and flying a sharp turn. I always have an issue that the plane starts to pitch down pretty hard. Okay, so the thing is here in the FlighFactor, I can't show you the trim settings. So in the PNG, you actually have the option to give yourself the fly-by-wire trim indication here. So you have to realize this aircraft is a fly-by-wire aircraft. Now, if you're doing, when you say sharp turn, normally anything up to 35 degrees shouldn't really matter. Because if you've trimmed to this airspeed, so let me just show you. I'm going to switch auto thrust off. So now I'm going to try to maintain altitude and airspeed. So what I would do, obviously, I'm going to switch the flight focus off really quickly. put the bird on, flight path vector on. Okay, so now what I do, let's do wings level. So what I'm trying to do now is get the aircraft nicely in trim, just like any conventional aircraft, okay? So I've got the airspeed, pitch for the altitude, make sure it's trimmed. So I would say that's pretty trimmed, all right? So if I just turn the aircraft into a bank angle and not pull and push. So as long as the speed remains the same, the aircraft will maintain altitude. Or I should say maintain its current flight path, right? And it's doing that because it's a fly-by-wire aircraft. Now, if the speed increases, it will raise the nose. Why? Because you've trimmed the aircraft to a certain airspeed. So as long as the airspeed remains constant, the pitch, or let's say the flight path, remains constant as well. Right? It's very neat. So in a pure conventional aircraft, if you go and get a bank angle, you would have to pull back on the yoke to maintain altitude. Right? Here you don't. The fly-by-wire system does that for you. Now let me reduce the thrust. Initially, nothing happens. But as the airspeed decreases, the aircraft will pitch down so that it maintains the trimmed speed. So I'm not touching the yoke, all right? So now what happens? It pitches down, speed increases again, and as it gets to its trimmed speed, it will raise the nose to the extent to maintain that airspeed. Now there's a bit of a time delay in here, but now you can see it's going to start raising the nose. You see how the descent rate decreases. You see, I'm not touching the yoke. It's doing that all by itself. It's just a bit time delayed here. The real aircraft does that a bit quicker. So, to answer your question, as long as you stay like within 35-degree bank angle, okay, and you maintain your airspeed, you do not need to pull on the yoke. Now, if the PNG does lower the nose, in this case, then it's just a badly programmed fly-by-wire system, where it's just a bit too far delayed. Right. But here in the FlighFactor, they've done a very good job of it. It handles very nicely. And the real aircraft, so I can tell you that the 787 IRL flies absolutely beautifully. It's so stable, and it's great. Really nice. Cool, let's do one more thing then. I have no idea where we are, to be honest. Where are we? Airports. Is there anything nearby where we could theoretically land? Echo Delta Fox. Where on earth are we? Well, that's Delta Delta there. What's Delta Delta here? Hang on. Right, Marzek. Where's Frankfurt? Fix. Oh, we're near Frankfurt. Okay, cool. That's good. All right, let's do the following then. So we're going to have the autopilot on, auto thrust on, speed. Let's climb 15,000 feet. And then somebody said we should try failure. No, not electric. No, go back. No. Where's engine? Engine. Right. So you said separation. Right. Let's do that. Does it actually fall off? No way. Jesus Christ. You've got to be kidding me. Whoops. Oh my god. Oh, that looks horrible. Righty. Looks like we got a problem, guys. Now we've lost indications for the instrument, but we're not. It's not showing. It's not showing engine failed or something. But I mean, we can clearly see we're losing. We lost thrust. Yeah. So I mean, as a passenger, I would be truly horrified. Now we do have the thrust available at this altitude to maintain altitude. So it says engine oil pressure, hydraulic pressure, ELIC backup gen right, and ELIC gen off right. Okay. Now the question is, which checklist would we go into? I think it would be probably safe to say we would do engine speed damage or separation. Okay, so let's say we have a hunch, we somehow have a feeling that the right engine just separated. Or maybe even the flight attendant calls and says, Captain, you won't believe that. The right engine is missing. Oh, okay, so engine severe damage, separation, right engine, memory items, right auto throttle switch, confirm, off, right confirmed, right thrust lever confirm, idle, right confirmed, idle, right fuel control switch confirm, cut off, and we'll do right engine fire switch confirm, pull, right confirm, pull, and we'll hold the checklist here. Now look at this. Interestingly enough, you see all these other checklists that we had, they've disappeared for now. So obviously it will be Mayday, 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 right? 7700. Say intentions. Yeah, get me radar vectors to Frankfurt, please. Roger that. Turn initially right heading 0. Well, let's do right heading. Oops. Let's do right heading 160. And call ready. Actually, call ready for descent. Okay, so now we're going to go through the checklist. So I'm going to call it checklist, and it's going to be non-normal, unannotated checklists. And in there, we're going to find the engine and the engine severe damage separation right. Engine severe damage separation right. Yep. Condition 1 or more of these occur. Airframe vibration with abnormal engine indications. Well, we have at least engine indications which are abnormal. And engine separation. Well, from reports, we can confirm the engine has separated. I'm not sure why that's not sensed. It should be sensed with right auto throttle arm switch off. It should be there. Right. Now, the rest of the memory items we've already done. So that is sensed. So these are closed loop items. Right. So now it says, and you can see that dashed line up to this point was memory items. And now we do the checklist. The lead comes up. Right, so high airframe vibration occurs and continues after engine shutdown. No vibrations. Continue, page 2. APU selector, start then on. Yeah, it's working. Transponder mode selected TA only. Right, guys, you see this now? So since we've lost an engine, we put the TCAS selected to TA only. So if an aircraft gets close to us, we will not get a resolution advisory, right? Because that could overpower our aircraft with single engine. Cool. Right, plan to land at the nearest sort of airport. Well, we got Frankfurt. We'll do that. And do not accomplish the following checklist: auto throttle right, engine fail right. And then we got checklist complete except deferred items. So now under the deferred items, it will say use flaps 20, VREF 20 for landing, and flaps 5 for go around. And these are then later in the checklists integrated, which is great. Yeah, so I mean that shows sometimes because we've shut down the engine ourselves. So we're going to cancel that. Let's do one recall. Now there was something I'm a bit confused because we did have some other checklists regarding hydraulics, so it may be a good idea to check hydraulics. Well, I mean, the right engine driven pump is obviously gone, right? So that's failed. Okay, so but I think because of the logic, now I've never done a separation scenario in the sim. It's always severe damage. So I'm wondering, maybe someone knows here, is the system clever enough to understand if you select severe damage or separation, that it then assumes that pump is just simply gone and it doesn't give you the checklist for that? The same for the engine electric generator. Is it that clever that it ignores those checklists? Oh, Jesus Christ, that scared out. How did it reappear? Oh, there's a timer for it, really? Okay, well that's a bit weird. Hang on. Where was the separation? There. Right. Now we already done the items, so it won't come up again. Okay, cool. Cool, alrighty, so yeah, electric-wise, same thing, right? We're missing the the right electric generator, but the bus is still powered, so no items, no checklist there. Yeah, so the only issue right now would be the engine failed, and we are below max landing weight. That's fine. So we'll do the descent items. First of all, we're gonna go change that to Frankfurt. The weather. Yeah, is it already coming up? Fuel leak? No. Or fuel imbalance? It could come up any time. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but that's normal. This engine is taking fuel. This one doesn't. Right. Let me quickly get the weather. So we got 190 at 3. We'll take runway 25 center. Because we are emergency via Delta Fox 526. And we're already in the center line, which is nice. Alright, let's descend down to 5,000 feet. We're going to change. So, for the approach, we're going to take flaps 20, VREF 20, and in case of go around, we're going to go flaps 5. Let me put RatNav in here, Fox Mike. I can see we're 33 miles from the ILS DME, that's fine. Now, if you wanted, we have some time right now. Let me quickly have a look at fuel imbalance. It's also unannotated. Let's have a look if we find it here. Let me try fuel. Fuel imbalance. Blah, 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 blah. So we checked that we have no fuel leak. That's fine. Totalizer, blah, blah, blah. Fuel leak, no. Then forward fuel crosswind switch open. Left main quantity is low. Yes. Then left pumps both off. There's something I hate doing, to be honest. I try to avoid doing that. Because, I mean, yeah, you're feeding now from the right engine, but you switched off the forward and aft main tank pumps, right? Now it's still scavenging if anything goes wrong. It says a DC pump is there as well, but I mean, I hate doing that, to be honest. But we'll do that. Just to get some fuel from the right tank as well. Good. Let's continue with the items. So for the approach 220... Oh, we are actually... No, we're not. We would be in a 787-900, but we would be above max landing weight, 192.4. Here it's 213, 214. Well, that means we are. Well, that's simply probably wrong. Okay, let's say we're below max landing weight. No need to do the overweight landing checklist. So it'll be a single engine ILS approach 25 center. The minimums for that. Oh, they're connected. Okay, I can't do that now. We'll take this chart here. So let's do airports. Search Frankfurt. There it is. I'm going to take the ILS approach 25 center. Zulu. There it is. And the minimums for that is 570. 570. $30 miles. I think we could go straight in from here. Now I have to periodically check if the engine is back on the aircraft. Right, minimum 570 sets. Let's check. It's okay, it's there again. So let me get rid of that again. Simulations, aircraft, airplane, failures. Engine failures. Right, separation. I've got to be careful, make sure I get the correct engine. It will be a bit bad if I left the left engine. Or lost the left engine as well now. That would be worst case. Speed brakes in. Good. Alrighty, so ILS approach 25 center. We got flap 20 approach, minimum bar of 570. Missed approach, we'll just go straight ahead, single engine, climb 5,000. Acceleration will be 1900, clean up, then climb 5,000. We'll do a automatic 3. We'll do a quick recall check. Is done. We're going to check the notes here. Make sure that we have not missed anything. So operational notes just says use flaps 20, VF 20 for landing and flaps 5 to go around. Okay, that's good enough. Yeah, sorry. Cool. Let's continue now. Let's regain normal fuel balance or fuel pump situation. So fuel balance complete. Left and right pump switches all on. And fuel cross switches both off. And that's the fuel and balance checklist complete. Good, let's do the descent checklist. Recall check, notes would check, auto brake is 3, landing data VREF 153, minimum bar of 570, approach braking completed. And let's do the approach checklist. 1024. 1024. 1024. Approach checklist, altimeter, KNH 101. 1024. Approach checklist complete. Localize indicator cleared for the approach. This is the okay, so this noise means the engine is suddenly back visible. Does it really matter? I mean, does it? Hang on. Separation there. I mean, it's nice for the visuals, right? But Alright, approach checklist was completed, 5,000. So cleared the ILS 25 center. Oh, there we go. Ah. That's what someone's referring to, that we have the hydraulic quantity low right. Now that's going to give us into probably some trouble. Yeah, we're going to lose the right system. Now, this is something where I got really annoyed by, what was his name, Captain, you know who in the US there, Captain Steve, right? Where he said, oh, well, I'm just going to ignore that. We've got the runway ahead of us, right? We're just going to land. Well, no, because we've got to get an overview of what's going on. So we're going to abort the approach real quickly, maintain altitude, get radar vectors, and do the checklist. So now we've got some cautions here. Flight controls, hydraulic pressure system right. And we have advisory as well, but I'm going to go with the hydraulic pressure system right, because I assume that the flight controls is a follow-up problem from the hydraulic pressure system right checklist. So we go checklists, and I'm going to choose now the hydraulic pressure system right checklist. Conditions right, hydraulic system pressure is low. Right electric demand pump selector on. Now it doesn't really do much because the quantity is low. The system blanks, so hydraulic pressure system message blanks. Well, no, of course not. Right engine primary off. Right ELIC demand pump selector off. Is off. Note, inoperative items. Right thrust reverser, aha. Right, that also impacts the landing distance. Left thrust reverser is available. Auto brake in up. Aha. You see? That really affects the landing distance and the procedure, right? So that's why you don't just go cowboy mode and land the aircraft. Yeah, but the fire switch is only... They shut off the right engine-driven pump, not the demand pump, in my opinion. So that's correct. So normal brake in up, alternate brakes available. So this is something I care about, MAN, right? Alternate brake, that definitely increases the landing distance requirements. So you would have to calculate that with your, you know, EFB. Note, roll rate may be reduced in flight. Speed brakes effectiveness may be reduced in flight and during landing. Do not accomplish the following checklist. Spoilers, okay? Checklist complete except deferred items. And now look at this. It again tells me deferred item checklist descend. Auto brake off. Right, that would be checklist completed. So let's try again with normal checklist descend. Completed, and now, yeah, manual braking. 4,000 meter runway is long enough. It's fine. Now it still gives me a checklist for flight controls. Let's look into that. So flight controls. Condition: one or more of these occur. 2 or more flight control surfaces are inoperative. Other faults in the flight control systems are detected. Handling qualities are degraded. Pitch and roll control capability is reduced with fewer operating control surfaces. Plan to land at the New Circle Airport. Yeah, we'll do that. We're going to Frankfurt. And then ground proximity flap override switch. Override. Continue, page 2. Use flaps 20 VREF 30 plus 20. Ah, okay. Look at that. So that's why, you see what I mean? There's so many things, so many issues. Because of the flight control issue, now we have to increase the speed, right? So use flaps 20 and VREF 30 plus 20. So 30 is 141 plus 20, so it's 161 for the approach speed now. No, 20. So if you went along, land the aircraft, and just argue, oh, I can see the runway, let's just land. If you did that, and let's say you overrun the runway, or you come off the runway, whatever reason, someone gets hurt, well, guess what? You're in big trouble, because the investigators will say, well, how can you land the aircraft knowing that you had a hydraulic issue and you didn't do the checklist, right? So we've done that. Crosswind limit for landing is 20 knots. Roll rate may be reduced in flight. Speed brake effectiveness may be reduced in flight and during landing. Note a composite checklist spoilers. Checklist complete except deferred items. So landing data, VREF 20, 161. Minimums Barrow 570. And the deferred landing checklist is flaps 20 later on. And that's the flight control checklist completed. And look at this now. The checklist, the landing checklist, says flaps 20. Which is nice. Cool. And let's slow down. And let's leave the speed brakes in. So cleared for the approach. Let's have a look. 255, flaps 1. Speed check, flaps 1. Oh, I've got to use a bit of speed brakes here. Actually, let's go gear down. Ah, okay, Skylar, I understand. Yeah, yeah. So a bit messed up because of the engine has come back. Let's get off. Cool. Here comes flaps 5. Flaps 5. Right. The rest is engine shutdown, flight controls, hydraulic pressure system right, all correct. Fantastic. Let's cancel that. So handling capability degraded. We got right engine separation. Here's lock. No auto brake and no reverser right, and spoilers degraded. So a couple of things that do affect our aircraft handling. Here comes flaps 15. Flaps 20. Final setting. Let's arm the speed brakes. And then landing checklist. Landing checklist complete. Let's see how it flies. Yeah, questions. There we go. 90 thrust, 90 flights. It's interesting. I really have to add right aileron input. So it seems like the fly-by-wire system can't correct that. It can correct the yaw, but it can't seem to correct the roll moment. Interesting. It's a little bit high according to the profile here. Hey Hilo. But otherwise it handles nicely still, so you know it's still a fly-by-wire aircraft and it still flies very nicely.
1,000.
It's checked.
$500. 400.
Hey, Raiders, thank you so much. Hang on, who's raiding?
300.
Pilot Deviation, thank you so much. Yeah, so we're simulating a right engine separation here.
Approaching minimums.
We just land the aircraft. I hope you had a good stream, Pilot Deviation. Big shout out to Pilot Deviation, guys.
Minimums.
Continue.
Ladies and gentlemen,
50,
welcome aboard
40,
Captain Blackbox
30,
Entertainment Experience.
20.
New subscribers should now
10,
pick up their past first class. Thank you.
So, speed brakes up. I can't get the reverse. Oh, there we go. Now, no reverse right engine. And manual braking. Oh, actually, you know what? I can feel the alternate braking, actually. It's much more sensitive compared to the normal brakes. Oh, that's cool. Hilo, yeah, so it, the thing is though, so, look. Oh, hang on. Why is it not going? It was actually gone, yeah, visually gone, hang on. It doesn't work on the ground. But you can go back. It's actually visually gone, yeah. So it's actually quite nice. So normally I would say attention crew and station, and then I would just have a look at the situation, call the tower, ask him or her if they see any smoke, fire, anything. But yeah, the engine was visually gone completely. Sladibat, thank you so much for the gifting us up to Pilot Deviation. Thank you so much. My dear moderators, do you know the command how to lift the time delay so that people can type in chat here? Hey, bliss of the apocalypse. Yeah, so thanks again, Pilot Deviation, for the raid. I hope you had a great stream. Not sure what you're up to, but we enjoyed X-Splint today. Really love it. Okay, Skylar, I will do so, yeah. I will do so. Thank you. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will be back on Wednesday. I've actually got some, well, I've got family happening this weekend, and then I've actually got to go to Frankfurt on Sunday. So, yeah, it should be Aviotech, yeah. Or is it, hang on, or is it Aerosoft? I'm not sure, it could be Aerosoft as well. I honestly don't know. But it looks nice. Yeah, Skylar, thanks for watching. Glad you enjoyed it. Guys, I'll be back on Wednesday. That's what I was going to say. So back on Wednesday. Got some simulator training and some real-world flying to do next week.
Good night,
so,
Black Box.
Thank you so much, everyone. And take care, everyone. Once again, big thank you to the Pilot Deviation for the raid. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Night,
And good night to you all.
Black
See you
Box.
soon. Good night.